Woodburn holds it up. Sesse, ever the willing runner. And Callum Sesse now making his way forward to Udo. Udo into the penalty area on his left foot. Oh, and Dan Udo puts a full stop on this game and puts it beyond reach now for Shrewsbury Town. That is a great goal from Dan Udo. His second goal of the afternoon, returning here to Crowd Meadow and returning in a big way. That is a good finish from Dan Udo. Salford have been under pressure in this second half, but two important goals have cemented the 3 points now for the Amis. Dan Udo, it's a good finish into the far post. And that is full time here at Crowd Meadow, and Salford make it back-to-back wins in the league. And this one here in Shropshire this afternoon has been a professional performance, a 3-1 victory.
Well, what a finish that was, that game at Shrewsbury at the weekend, a 3-1 victory. And welcome to this week's official Salford City Podcast as we look ahead to the Swindon Town game this weekend. Ade Oluwo, Matty Young and Ben Woodburn, as well as the gaffer, joining us on this week's show. But to kick things off with, we're honoured to be joined by Jorge Grant. And George, congratulations, another 3 points at the weekend. How's it all going for yourself?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I think it was really important on the weekend that we got back to winning ways after obviously the Cheltenham game. I felt like we performed well but didn't quite get the finishing touches that we probably wanted. But yeah, you saw in probably the last 10-15 minutes how much we started to really carve some opportunities open, and yeah, the boys took them really well. So yeah, delighted to get 3 points there.
Towards Stockton, Cole Stockton gets something on that, and Udo heads it to Harris. Udo continues his run, it opens up for Udo and he levers it straight through the hands of Harrison. No stopping it, and Dan Udo, for the second season running, scores against his former club. He scored here last season for Wickham, and he's done so today for his new club, Salford City.
I said this post-match, but it was very similar to the Tranmere game in that we were kind of comfortable for a while after Dan Udo's opening goal in the first half, but the opposition's always going to come back at us, and it's how well we stand up to that. Yeah. But again, we did stand up to it and then just hit them with 2 late goals.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting point. I feel like we've been in control in a lot of games, and then somehow it turns out that they'd score, and we've always seemed to come back and we always look like scoring goals, which is really important. So if we was conceding and then not looking like scoring, that would be more of a problem. So yeah, the boys are creating opportunities for each other, which is a good thing. And yeah, everybody wants to score goals, so it's a good thing that we're doing that. Yeah,
absolutely. Just to catch up with yourself more generally, I mean, you've started in all 8 of the league games thus far. Yep. I think that was the first game where you actually got substituted in the league game after 65 minutes or so. Yeah. So you're very much a part of where we are in the league table, which is currently 3rd.
Yeah, I feel like I've contributed well, especially sort of the first 5 or 6 games not playing in my best position. But I felt like I was doing that for the team. I felt like I was doing a really good job in there.
Obviously, is this the sitting back a little bit?
Yeah, the number.
Because you do that quite well.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I feel like I do that quite well, and it probably does look natural that I play that position sometimes. But I know that I can create and score goals and assist goals when I'm higher up the pitch. We haven't seen that in the 2 games that I've played there so far, but I feel like I'm starting to get my rhythm back a little bit in that position, being higher up the pitch. So hopefully in the weekend going forward that I can get that first goal. Obviously I've got the first assist, so the first goal, and then kick on from then.
When you look at our midfield, I've said this for the last few weeks, but it's true. Yeah. Yourself, got Butcher, you've got Callum Sesse, who's really, from non-league level, really come up and made that leap quite comfortably. Yeah. You've got Osama Ashley as well, Ben Woodburn, Josh Osterfield. Yeah. It's a good lot of players that's in that midfield, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like in general we've got a really good squad, but that midfield competition is really high. So everybody knows that when they go out onto the pitch on Saturday that they have to perform, otherwise they're not going to start the next game, because we've got so many good players that can come in and do exactly the same job that someone else might be able to do. So it's so important that everybody's giving their best every day on the training pitch, and then when it comes to Saturday we're giving our all. If somebody's slightly off their game, then we've got players that have got really good quality that are on the bench, and some that are not even in the squad. So it's a very good position to be in as a squad, looking to get promoted.
Speaking of which, obviously taking on Swindon this weekend, 9th league game of the season, very early doors. Yeah. They've had a really good start to the season, but we're only 2 points behind them, sitting in 3rd. It's too soon to say this is a title or promotion 6-pointer, isn't it? But You've been in promotion teams in the past. Where should Salford fans be at the moment with their expectations? Because you appear to be, quite chipper at the moment with where we are.
Yeah, no, I feel like they should be excited. To be where we are at this point in the season is only a good thing. We've had a couple hiccups in certain games, but the good thing is we're winning. I feel like we still can improve in the performances we're playing. I feel like we can still score more goals. So it's a time to be excited. It's obviously going to be a great game on the weekend. Two really good teams going at it. So obviously we're at home. We'll want to be on the front foot and take the game to them. So we're looking forward to doing that.
And how important is it to have a player like yourself or like Matt Butcher, for example, just throwing out names out there, who can keep a level-headed in these pressure situations? Yeah,
that comes from experience, but also I feel like there's younger lads in there that have probably had similar experiences as well. So yes, of course the older lads have got to make sure that everybody stays calm in certain situations and certain moments in the game where it might be a bit hectic and someone just to get their foot on the ball and just pass it a little bit, but we kind of want it to be a little bit hectic. They're really enjoyable games to play in, so yeah, we're looking forward to it. Yeah,
and I think I asked you this last question the last time we spoke a few weeks back, but still enjoying it?
Yeah, still enjoying it. Yeah, I am really enjoying it. Yeah, it's been good. It's been so easy to settle in. I think I said that last time. Obviously, stuff away from football now is a bit more settled as well, which obviously helps. So yeah, hopefully first goal on the weekend or as soon as possible, and then go from there.
There's players in the wall plus a draft excluder lying on the floor. You'll have to forgive me, I can't see the player's number, but there's a player lying down behind the wall. It's going to be Woodburn. Oh, and Ben Woodburn scores. Ben Woodburn there with the free kick. Got the better of that wall. 12 yards out of goal. Blocking Ben Woodburn's view of the goal. However, there was just a little glimmer of light to the left-hand side of Eli Harrison. And that's where Ben Woodburn put the ball. It's a great free kick, this one. Eli Harrison on the stretch there, diving to his left, can't stop it from staying out. It goes into the net. 82 minutes played here, and Salford have retaken the lead, and it's the substitute Ben Woodburn with a great free kick there to see Salford retaking the lead. It's 2-1.
Well, we're now joined by goal scorer from Saturday, Ben Woodburn, and Ben, you reminded me just before we were talking just about your free kicks from pre-season, but scored a very similar goal at Chester, so there you go, practice makes perfect.
Yeah, I actually don't practice them too much, and I think the angle just suited me a little bit more than Garb, so he let me have it, and luckily it went in.
You had basically the body width of Dan Udoh to aim for, so that is a skill.
Well, I don't know if you could see it on the video, but Dan basically telling me just to shoot at him, and he moved out the way and probably unsighted the keeper, and yeah, like I said, luckily it went in.
Yeah, and it follows on from the Tranmere performance as well. Just a general question just about the squad and the way they've performed in the last two games, where the momentum shifts to the opposition, which is bound to happen during a match. We stay firm, and then all of a sudden we get two late goals in the last 10 minutes. I mean, it's a bit of a Liverpool element to the way we're performing at the moment.
Yeah, I think we've kind of controlled all them games, so it was kind of against the run of play, and I think we've done well to kind of see out their little part where they get on top of the game and then put the pressure on. And like you said, we scored a couple of goals last weekend, and we've got it in us to come back as well, which is definitely a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to the squad more generally, I mean, we have to remember you came off the bench to do that on Saturday. That's difficult in itself, just to hit the ground running, and you and Ash coming on. Ade came on as well and showed things up from the bench.
Yeah, we just try to come on and make an impact. Yeah. We know we've got a strong bench, whoever's on it, so whoever comes on, it's just trying to give the team a bit of a lift and push us forward.
So let's talk about what this means for the team then. This weekend we've got Swindon. This is a really, only 9 games into the season, but it feels like a really crucial game already in a strange way.
I think every game's crucial. Obviously they're top of the league, so it makes it a little bit different. Obviously going to be a really tough game, so we've got to be up for it, but I'm sure we will be.
Yeah, what does it tell us about our form that we're only 2 points behind them, and they've had a really good start?
I mean, I think we should be closer, should be top as well, but that's football really. It's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to it.
And just a general question just about your overall performance. That's a good goal on Saturday. You've scored a good goal already. Goal of the month contender for August. Your goal against Accrington. So how are you enjoying things at the moment?
No, enjoying things. That's kind of what I was looking to do this season, add more goals and assists to my game, and I've got 2 already, so hopefully I can push on and get a few more.
Kabia Loses out to Sesse, but that's only as far as Anderson. And Cabby are back on the ball now on the left-hand side. Into the penalty area. Gets the bear. Cooper goes for goal. Well saved by Young. Matty Young tips it over the bar.
Well, we're now joined by goalkeeper Matty Young, who joins us here at the training ground on Thursday. And Matty, another 3 points at the weekend, but heading into that game you were with England under-21, so how tricky was it acclimatising back to the swing of things?
Obviously, yeah, I've been away for a week and a bit. Having the experience of being with the 21s for the first time was great. Good bunch of lads. Obviously we got a result over there 2-0, and just proud to be a part of it, for the first time. So, delighted with the call up, but it feels good to be back, and obviously with a good result at the weekend, 3 points. Obviously moving up to third in the table, we are still chasing to the top end of the table, and hopefully, like I say, on this upcoming game, we can possibly do that depending on how results go.
It's weird because we've been chatting now for over a year, since you joined the club for your first stint here on loan, and every time I speak to you it's all about development and all that. There was always an expectation with you to develop and grow, and well, you're meeting that expectation, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah, I mean, that is the aim, over a prolonged period of time, you do start making changes, you're still developing. Obviously, I know I'm a young lad still, but for me, it's just stepping up to the next level and keep doing that over the past year or so. I think the first time we met, I was around the under-18s, under-19s. Now, it's went from 20s to 21s now, so hopefully now it's all about just keeping at that level, and obviously for the club, it's about getting the 3 points and continue this good run we've got at the minute. So yeah, let's just keep pushing up the table.
Yeah, so I'll come to that learning curve, playing League 2 football. But it was interesting against Shrewsbury, because in the opposite goal there was Eli Harrison there, United loanee, who was on England under-20 duty that weekend. And there is a lot of learning that players like yourself can take from this level of the game.
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously with games comes experience. For me, obviously, I've played nearly 30 games in this league, so for me, my experience is just gaining each game I get. Obviously, for him, it's his first season, but he'll be doing good this season. Obviously, with Shrewsbury, and like I say, being around the England setup, it's a lot different, obviously, around there. But you get two perspectives of club and country, and I think both are valuable.
I mean, take it for granted you made a decent save in that second half, which was an important save in the grand scheme of things. But how difficult is it to go from those longer ways into Eastern Europe and then hitting the ground running in a match like that tricky match, especially the second half against Shrewsbury?
Obviously, with travel, it takes a lot out of you. But for me, it's just about doing the right things and continue to do the right things to give me the best opportunity at the weekend to perform at my highest level. I did have a bit of an illness whilst in international, so for me it was just making sure that the game comes around on Saturday, I am ready, my body feels ready, and all my energy is going to be put in the 90 minutes. So for me it was just about getting prepared, making sure I get plenty of sleep, stay hydrated, and make sure my diet's on point.
And that takes us then on to the Swindon game this weekend, and we're going to touch upon it a lot on this week's podcast, but we're only 8 games in. I mean, this is the 9th round of fixtures in the league, but this feels like a big game already.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, 2 top teams at the top of the table, so it's definitely one that we have to make sure that we get right. I think it would be good to get a foot in the door and make sure that the rest of the league knows that we do mean business this year, and that we are going to go for it.
Taking a step back and then coming back, I mean, this has all happened roughly around the transfer window as well. This squad now feels like it's in a very good place. Do you share that view?
Yeah, of course. We've got top level players, and I'd even go to say most of the players that we've got are definitely League One quality. And all it's about is just making sure that we do get out of this league this year. That is the main goal, and I think this club is building a foundation for us to move up the leagues and progress. And so I think with the squad we've got and the depth that we've got and the quality that we've got, we have definitely got something very special this season. It's all about just doing it on the pitch.
Yeah, and last question to you, Matty. How much are you looking forward to this weekend being back at the Peninsula Stadium? Can we make it 3 wins on the bounce?
Yeah, we can. Of course we can. I can't wait, to be honest. I enjoy playing at the Peninsula, and we just need everyone there for our support, and obviously the team is going to give everything that we've got, and hopefully we come away with 3 points, which I think we will.
Corner to Salford. It's played short to Woodburn. Woodburn on the left hand side waits. Grant makes room for the pass, but Woodburn goes to the byline regardless, crosses the ball in, and there's Oluwo to put it into the net, and Salford, 6 minutes into the second half, break the deadlock. A well-worked corner from the Amis, from the left-hand side. Grant playing it to Woodburn. It looked like, for all intents and purposes, Woodburn was then going to return the ball to Grant, but Ben Woodburn had other ideas, driving to the byline, getting the cross into the box, and there was that man, Ade Oluwo. Oh, it was an improvised flick as well. Good stuff from Salford centre-back there, scoring his second goal of the campaign now.
Ade, big congratulations. Thank you for joining us firstly, but no surprise, winner of the club goal of the month for August, but also the league's goal of the month for your fantastic finish against Newport County. I mean, what's your thoughts?
Oh, it's obviously a great achievement for myself, but as I said before, it's also a big credit to Brucey and Jez as well, because we put in the effort and the work on the training ground, so it's a good feeling to get the acknowledgement and the reward for that.
Yeah, if memory serves, we did catch up after you scored that goal against Newport, but that was one of the things we talked about.
Yeah.
Our set pieces early on in this season. Obviously, it was your second goal after your goal at Meadow Lane against Notts County. It was a good set play more generally, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, we work on it. We work on trying to, get individuals free, getting blocks on, like creating space in the box. So, like I said, great feeling to get some acknowledgement for it, and hopefully many more to come.
Just remind us what was going through your mind when Ben Woodburn crossed that ball in. You were being marked, and I think the defender at the time probably thought, I've done the job here, but somehow you managed to get a flick on it. Yeah,
I remember, I think it was from a corner, we went short, so the tension was there was a bit of chaos, let's say, and then the ball's come in the box, and usually it's in the space for me to attack, but it came to my body, and it's one of those things I just had to improvise, and I've ended up slicing it with my heel, sort of, and could finish, to be fair.
Really good finish. Have you scored a goal like that before?
Nah. In fact, on the grass, no. But yeah, it's just one of those things, just improvisation.
Just a general catch up, more generally with how things are going.
Yeah.
Came back into the fold after a couple of games out with injury. How was your performance against Shrewsbury coming back on?
I felt strong, to be fair. Usually when you're out for a game or two, you might come back and feel rusty, but felt like I felt strong. Felt like I got back into the swing of things pretty quick. So hopefully I can just keep that going. Yeah, and now you've got this award as well. I mean, what does that do for your own confidence that you're being recognised, not just within the club but externally as well? 100%. It just makes me more hungry. Makes me want to score more goals and just help the team out more. And I guess I can do that by individual success as well. So, like I said, hopefully many more to come.
August Goal of the Month winner Ade Oluwo there speaking to me on Thursday. Well, let's look ahead now to Saturday as Salford City welcome Swindon Town to the Peninsula Stadium this weekend. And let's hear the pre-match thoughts now of Salford's head coach. Here's Karl Robinson. Karl, big thank you for joining us ahead of this big game against Swindon at the weekend. What's the mood in camp like heading into this one?
Yeah, it's all right.
Good. I know.
Well, it's been rubbish.
Well, it was just an opening question, but
yeah, it's been brilliant.
I mean, just touching upon, as we head into this game, that performance against Shrewsbury at the weekend, just to go back to that game in particular, it was another good performance from the lads.
I don't think we've had many poor performances yet this year. I think we've had moments in games when we've not been at our best. Even Saturday in Shrewsbury, I don't think it was the most perfect of performances. But when you don't play that well and you get such a dominant result, and much 3-1 away from home is a strong result. I think it breeds confidence for knowing when we start playing well for longer periods within games. I think there's so much more to come from us. You still look at this moment in time. Osama Ashley, who's now getting back into it. Kelly and Mize getting closer and closer. Some of the players are getting up to speed, and Rosie and Coops. Addy's now back fit. Hadj is getting closer and closer to being fully fit. He's still not quite there. And obviously Kadeem has just been sensational since he's come in the building. So we're in a decent spot, but that's all we are.
Yeah, because it is early on in the season, admittedly, but when you are, getting the results the way we are in a good position, aren't we? When you consider everything, injuries, players coming back, and we're still managing to get the 3 points.
Yeah, late recruitment as well. Not so much because we meant to leave it later. I think we waited for the right players, and unfortunately, waiting for the right players sometimes means a slower start to a season, and then on top of that, then you're trying to get them up to speed when everybody else is already up to speed. I think the players the ones who have come into the building have been really, really good acquisitions, and I think the players who've already been here last year have almost laid the foundations of what the standards of the football club are. We're aggressive in multiple factors of how we want to play, but we're also a very strong group of people, and we're trying to build something here, and it's something that we have to work hard at. You don't just click your finger and put good players in a Salford shirt and all of a sudden it works. They have to work hard, they have to buy into what we believe is correct.
Yeah, as an interviewer, I can now single out particular players. I mean, the obvious one is obviously Ade Oluwo, but you could list every player that we signed as, like, even go like the first signing, Karl Robinson, how much he's added to the squad.
Yeah.
It's a list of players, isn't there?
Yeah,
really
Paul and Ross have worked so hard with a lot of us behind the scenes to try and find the right type of people. I think that it's the players have given so much. We've only had 3 transfer windows since I've been here. I think every single transfer window you've seen a better version of who we want to be, and I think that's sometimes when a manager being at a football club for 3 transfer windows, I think it's important that on that 3rd transfer window there's an identity that runs with what we're trying to achieve. And I think that the beauty about where we are, this is not just that what one person thinks is the correct way of playing. That the football club's short history with the class of '92 is that they want to see similarities and they want to see parallels with how they think the game should be played. And I think that as a collective we've looked at a system and we've looked at a way of playing and try and find something that we believe is synonymous with them and with the area. And I think how aggressive can we pass forwards? Can we keep people on the edge of the seats? Can we try and score 2 goals in every game? And everything is a positive mindset. I heard a fantastic interview this week. I don't know how long we did with Gary and Sir Alex speaking about when you're drawn in the games, how they want to win, they want to send the fans home happy. That's been a mystique of this whole area over decades of watching them play. And we want to be that sort of team where people want to come and watch us and they know right the way through a game we're drawn and we're going to be a team that's going to try and see how to win it. And we want to keep that mindset and that philosophy. And interesting enough, playing in Swindon at the weekend, and Ollie's very similar as well. His philosophy is very aggressive. It's on the front foot. They want to pass forward. They want to run forward. They want to get 5 players on top of the pitch to cause you problems, and he makes an awful lot of substitutions to keep energy very high. And we know it's going to be a hard game this weekend. And I think 2 styles. Listen, obviously it's only early on, but the 2 of us are thereabouts in the league, and I think that it's 2 very similar systems with 2 sets of good players that we feel that are both going to go toe to toe at 3 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. And just mentioning that wanting to win the game, we have seen that in the last 2 matches. I said this to you after the Shrewsbury match, just how we've kept the opposition at bay as the momentum shifts in the game, and then we've hit them with 2 late goals, and we've done that against Shrewsbury and Tranmere.
Fitness, mindset. I never say die. When you win in the game of football and you get pegged back, it's so easy to sort of relax and think that, well, hang on, let's just see this out now. Well, we have a complete polar opposite thought process that we want to get back on top very, very quickly. And when we score 1, we want to score 2. When we score 2, we want to score 3. And I think every manager is generally the same. But I think obviously over a period of time, being at a football club for now, I've seen there 2 years in January, I think one of our mantras is that we always want to be on the front foot. We always want to play attacking football. We always want to score goals at will in some ways, and I think that you're starting to see that there's more dominance within our play territorially. We're holding on to the ball longer because of the quality of players that we possess, but there's not just a passive nature to that. There's an aggressive formula that we always want to be on the front foot, and I think the players deserve a tremendous pat on the back for how hard they've worked and how hard they're willing to work, and the football club as a whole is certainly in a half decent place. But I think, as you sort of mentioned at the beginning of this interview, it's only game 8. So we've got a lot of football still to play and a lot more games that are going to challenge us in different ways.
Yeah, I mean, it is game 9 this weekend, and you've touched upon it already. It seems very early to say, this is like a really, really big game. But both teams have started this campaign off really well, and you'd imagine both teams are going to be in the shake-up at the end of things.
We hope so. We hope so. You say it's only early on. We're only 3 games away from a quarter of the way through the league campaign. So yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's
10 league games is the cliche, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's we have one game short. At this time of the year, listen, we're almost at the back end of September, and we've played a lot of games, and inclusive of the cup competitions as well. I think the squad has really stood up to all of the challenges so far. We're going to have a dip. We're going to have a part of the season where we're going to be scratching our head and asking multiple questions why. But I think that the positive mindset that everybody has is important, and I think the fans play a massive part in that. I spoke to you about my early days here when we were trying to get out the bottom 2 and 3 and push ourselves away from relegation. I remember us getting beat one game and our fans were singing and clapping and backing the players, and they're moments that you sort of think, well, hang on, there's a real positivity amongst the fans. And I think if you can pay that back by every now and then being incredibly competitive within your league campaign, I think it shows a unified front, really. And I think we've got to make sure that we keep doing them proud and we keep doing the club proud, and we keep making sure that we're knocking on the doors and trying as many games as we possibly can and being as aggressive as we possibly can.
And those fans are really going to help this weekend, I feel, because you've mentioned it already, but Swindon, they've had a great start. They've won the last 4 games. This is going to be a proper good game of football, I feel, this weekend.
Yeah, I've never ever set my teams out to go and try and draw. I think that's a mindset that it doesn't matter who we play. I know we didn't get the positive results, but we will play a Premier League team tomorrow. Our mindset will be we want to win, and that's in anything, when you go play golf or pool or whatever sport that you play, whatever you want to do in life. It's important that you try and aim to win. It's the greatest thing you can do. It's also the hardest thing to do, is win. That means you've got to work hard and you've got to be disciplined, and you've got to trust in your talents, and all of them things have to come together to make sure that you win. And then once you've got a number on your back, I think the people you're there to be shot at. I think we're already that team in some ways. Let's just smirk behind the camera. So it's important that we keep doing the right things and we keep trying to give people a bit of positivity. We hope that over the next few weeks and months that we start seeing our attendances increase. It's so important. If this is not a rally cry in any way, shape or form, but what it certainly is the fact that we need more people in that ground. We do, you know that. The fans who've been there through all of this have been tremendous, and they're only young as well, and they're starting to drag the mates along and to create more of a hostile atmosphere for the opposition teams to play at our place. And we've got to hope that our performances and our results and the goals that we scored and the entertainment element of it, that they keep bringing the mates back, and together we can hopefully find a way of being successful at the end of the year. As you said before, it's only game 9 and there's a lot more football to be played, and this is a real difficult test at home against a team up to now at top of the table.
Karl Robinson there joining us here on this week's official Salford City podcast. And that's it for this week's show. A big thank you to Karl and all the players who've joined me. So, Salford City hosting Swindon Town on Saturday afternoon at the Peninsula Stadium. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff UK time, and for ticketing information and for more details, head over now to the club's official website at salfordcityfc.co.uk. But remember, if you cannot make the game in person, don't forget you can join me on Saturday afternoon with live coverage. Please visit salfordcityfc.co.uk/live for more details. Well, that's it for this week's show. A big thank you for joining me, and you have a good weekend. Bye-bye.